this time is a turning point and a preparation for what is to come. And you may feel in your life how things are being dismantled and shifting, and you sense that something very radically new and different is coming. My name is Alexandra, I'm a guide, I'm a visionary, and I am here to help you really remember who you truly are and why you came. And I want to start sharing those energy updates to really guide you on your journey of what is, what's really going on and how can we work with it. And this is stemming from, my observation, what I can see in terms of astrological patterns, but really mainly what I feel and sense and intuit on a deeper level. And so, the way I feel those videos and those updates, it's more the kind of the bigger frameworks, just to have really, an idea and an understanding of what's happening and why it's happening and how to best work with it. So in this video I want to share with you 4 themes that I feel are very relevant, especially for the month of November. So the first theme is really about redefining meaning. And this is, I would say, a core theme of the whole of 2025 and into 2026. And this is in a way stemming from, there is really this thing around endings, loss, grieving, a sense of disillusionment in our lives, in terms of we really thought, that was it, but it's not, and it needs to crumble, it needs to be taken away, it needs to be dismantled, whether it was that relationship, whether it was, the meaning in terms of like your career and your work and the way you are in the world, the way you present yourself with the world, all the ways in which we've been living in a way that was not true and was not aligned. That's what's being dismantled. And that's very painful because we get really attached to the way things were, but at the same time we really feel like there is a need to break free and to move towards something radically new. Now, when I talk about meaning, it's what you like and what you value, but it's much actually deeper than that. It's more a sense of, why you're here, what really, really matters to you, what makes you want to live this life, essentially. What makes you want to breathe and feel and love and lead and move around and be here. And this is very unique for you. I was watching this interview the other day, and those 2 men they were having a conversation, and one of them was like, okay, what are your goals? And the other man was stating very relevant, beautiful goals in terms of, I want beautiful relationship, I want to really express my purpose and help many people, I want to have beautiful relationships with my children. But this other man said, you're missing a key goal, a key intention, which is inner peace. And how often are we placing meaning on those external things whilst feeling empty inside? And that really struck me, because I understand, how actually peace, isn't it what we all want? We don't want that thing, we want the feeling. Without inner peace, what can we really achieve? What can we really do? What is really the help that we can bring? What is the inspiration? What is the creativity we can bring if we are not at peace inside ourselves? And so, what is it for you? What really matters? And I think into 2026, we are needing to be really honest with ourselves and ask the deeper questions, because we can see and realize that, the meaning doesn't come from achieving and trying and performing. The meaning comes and almost remains when we are unpeeling everything that was standing in the way and that we believed was real. The second theme is shedding skin. November is a very, very potent healing month, and it's very, very supported by many aspects. I see this as the need to shed the past, to shed whatever we've been carrying and how we've been defining ourselves regarding our past and our history. And so, as we're in Scorpio season, there may be like certain triggers, certain really things coming up and showing up where you're not free. And all it wants, it asks to be seen and to be felt and to be welcomed and to be released. And that shedding skin, there's something about cycles. A cycle comes to an end, the snake sheds the skin and move into a new way of being. And we cannot jump into the new, because whatever content is emerging right now is exactly what needs to be acknowledged and released for that new chapter to begin. It's almost like, there are things that we want consciously and we can, see it. But what's happening with the body? What's happening on an emotional level? Are you at peace? Are you feeling safe? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling afraid? Can you acknowledge what is it that you're feeling? And can you ask what it's teaching you? And how can you meet yourself in those deeper ways? This month is really about, releasing the pressure to achieve anything right now, but meeting yourself in your own inner depths and really seeing it as a process. So not judging it. How can you, in this alchemy process, holding the paradox, right? It's like we're soul and we're human. We are inherently, powerful, perfect, unlimited. And we are also working with such challenging and vulnerable and tender and painful content. But how can we hold the two aspects of the equation? Because you're not defined, but whatever it is that you're feeling and that's emerging from the past. Always remember your inherent power when you are feeling those things. The first theme is about trusting without proof. I love this concept because purely one thing is that this is the biggest gift that we can have, that ability to really trust without actually seeing the confirmation in the outside, in your life, in the outside world. There is this invitation in this month to learn to listen deeper to the intuitive messages. And ultimately, that comes the more we clear what's been in the way, the unprocessed emotions and the limiting beliefs and all the things that we think it's us. And then we clear the ground and we're able to hear our true voice inside. And it's really about making space to hear, making space to listen deeper. Because that knowing, it's actually all you need to move through life. It's your most powerful gifts. And right now there is a lot of Piscean energies and planet moving back into Pisces, and we're learning to tap into, to access, to cultivate, to strengthen our ability to feel and sense things more deeply. That knowingness. And the final theme is letting go to receive. This is again another very broad theme, but it's this image that my astrology teacher shared, which is, you have a fist, and when you hold that fist very tight, symbolizing the control, the grasping, you are now open to receive. But when you do open the palm and let go of the grasping, there is so much that can come. You're ready, you're spacious, you're open, you're available. And it doesn't come from that place of forcing. And this is really the invitation right now. There is a deeper than ever need to surrender. To not try to make it happen, because the truth is that it will happen if you let it, in a way that you have no idea. You cannot even comprehend. We cannot grasp, with our own limited perception, what is to come. We can only make ourselves available. Yesterday I was spending some time with my partner, and I just put my hands on him, and one hand on his head and one hand on his heart, and just breathing and just becoming available, and to replenish the energy and to invite more relaxation. And I really had this strong sense that, for me it is to practice. Right now I don't need to do anything. In fact, I am just the vessel, and that greater intelligence, that greater wisdom, that greater light, there is something that I will never able to do, as it were. And how can I just be present and available? And I think this is actually revolutionary. There is such a relief when you realize that you don't need to try, you don't need to do, but instead, can you redirect the awareness back in the body? Feel the feet, feel the legs, feel the ground holding you. Deepen your breath. Notice if the mind wants to grasp, how is this thing gonna play out, and how am I gonna do it, and what are the details? And right now the truth is, it's not about the details. There is no truth in the details. The only truth will be available to you the more present you become. And with that sense of presence and non-judgmental awareness, you are also available for how that energy, that intelligence, that divine wisdom wants to move through you and clear whatever has been unprocessed from the past, whatever you've been kind of carrying. Sometimes we spend so much energy in holding and carrying who we've been. And then we wonder why we're not free, we wonder why we're not happy and why we're not at peace, when the whole time we not only think about, we cultivate and strengthen the way we've been. We hold on to things that don't serve us, that are not healthy. So I hope this is helping, and wherever you are, know that you are right on time, and whatever is unfolding is perfect. It's only about your ability and your availability to meet it. Your life is going through a deep restoration process, and the metamorphosis takes time. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.